welcome the Chiefs Blueprint. He's BJ Kissel and I'm Pete Sweeney. We're still a couple weeks away from the regular season, but we're already getting a pretty good indication as to what we can expect from the Chiefs in 2016. Lots of good signs.
Yeah, through 2 preseason games, the Chiefs offense has been about as crisp as any team in the league. Alex Smith has led the first-team offense to opening drive touchdowns against 2 of the league's better defenses. We've seen big plays through the air and on the ground, and what makes it all more impressive is that it's been done without any real game planning. Defensively, that's a more interesting story. We all know the Chiefs are without some of their key players, but they have a lot of youth and a lot of potential. It'll be interesting to see how this all comes together over the next couple of weeks.
Well, we've got a great show for you ahead. We've got an interview with a crucial player in the Chiefs' defensive backfield, second-year corner Steve Nelson. We'll take a look back at the impressive comeback season of Derrick Johnson in our player spotlight. And in our feature segment, we'll head to the remote Sapelo Island, a gorgeous but sparsely populated barrier island off the coast of Georgia that also happens to be the home of Chiefs defensive lineman Allan Bailey. But first, he said he considered retiring after the 2015 season, but now finds himself as one of the Chiefs' 2 new co-offensive coordinators heading into 2016. Brad Childress is the only assistant coach on the Chiefs staff with experience as a head coach, and he's got some intriguing insights on the Chiefs offense.
Coming at you, just block head up. Good split. You want to run 6 to 8. You need to consume him so he doesn't touch this guy. Outside shoulder release always. Here we go, regular. Yeah, you know what? When I first came in after being at the Vikings, and I've seen how much the offense has grown, and everybody kind of grows their version of it. So it has the ability to be able to do as much or as little as you want to do. And obviously with a guy like Alex Smith who can take as much as you can give him, this thing's really been able to grow here in Kansas City.
Zone over there, Ron. Zone, nobody home.
Brad, how rejuvenated are you now in this role?
I'm really excited about it. To be able to have that daily interaction with that quarterback room and to be hands-on with those guys and really all the guys on offense.
You've been with Coach since the mid-'80s at Northern Arizona. How much does that help you guys in communicating?
Yeah, I don't think we hold anything back from each other.
Nice shooting. Chili's gonna get killed out there.
Our families kind of grew up together. We always stayed close on the coaching tree. So, you don't really have to parse your words or beat around the bush or anything. You can get right to it, him to me and me to him.
Smith from the shotgun on 1st and 10 to the end zone. Macklin hauls it in. Touchdown, Chiefs.
How much have you seen then this offense evolve? Because you've been here since day one.
Yeah, I mean, when you're teaching a whole new system, a whole new way to operate, Alex had some background in it. It's like night and day. And for the guys like Travis Kelce, who's sat here, but he's been in it for 3 years, just the understanding and the understandings of all the flexibility you have along that line in the playbook. There's so many things that you're able to do, and we do now.
So with Alex, how far has he come in this offense?
It's like Coach says all the time, he's got the keys to the car. And so he sees things, and I think he has a great repartee with Matt, myself, and Coach. He's not afraid to mention something he sees. Could we do this? And, we've implemented a number of things that he's looked at.
Make sure you go through your progression. You can break the huddle, not looking down at the ground at all. So it's first wide vision. I got my clock and my safeties, and I just keep all that rolling. Just make it second half.
Nick has said, wow, this offense has changed a lot. How difficult does that make it for Nick Foles to get up to speed?
He had some of the basic tenets, but he's still filling it up. He takes great notes. He learns something new every day, whether it's about snap count or flexibility on that line in the playbook, what he can do with it, that Alex does with it. And he's a good student. He's a good study.
Chiefs, a minute 28 left in the half. Nick Foles in the 2-minute offense. Hanging on, now throws it late. Low throw, caught by Conley. At the 40-yard line, breaks a tackle. Conley is up to the Ram 34.
It was great that he was able to take part in that 2-minute, and I thought we did a great job with it, aside from not scoring a touchdown there. But I think the more snaps he gets against different defenses that are looking for different things, and just reps in our system, reps on our plays, not just against air, but against real guys.
Following the departure of Sean Smith to free agency last offseason, cornerback has been one of the few positions with question marks on a relatively stable Chiefs roster. They certainly have numbers at the position, having drafted 3 defensive backs and signed 10 more this offseason in free agency. But they're low in experience, with only 4 defensive backs on the roster that have more than 10 starts in their career.
Well, Pete, that's how it comes to be that second-year cornerback Steve Nelson, with only 53 defensive snaps to his name coming into the year, is one of the more experienced corners on this roster. But the few snaps that he has played have revealed quite a bit about the type of player he could be.
Steven Nelson in right now at the left quarterback position. Marcus Peters had to come out.
Nelson, who's rarely played on scrimmage downs this year, has got to cover DeAndre Hopkins.
I was standing by the coach when Peters came off the field. I ran out there with my opportunities.
Keep an eye on Hopkins at the bottom of the screen. They love to isolate him in these red zone situations.
Hoyer, Hopkins, incomplete. The Oregon State rookie Steven Nelson was there in cover.
They went right after him, and he defended it.
Good job, boy!
And he had one of the best plays that everybody will forget about.
Like a big light, boy!
Our defense, man, we always, preparing as if we're the starter. So, I take pride in that. Just held it down for my defense. We got to be the most in shape group out here. Woo! Too early, man.
All right, Steve, second training camp here with the Chiefs under Andy Reid. Just how's things been going for you so far?
It's been going very good, man. I'm being coached by, some of the greatest that ever played the game. It's amazing, man, to just come in that room each and every day and say, wow.
There we go.
Lock him up, there. Everything I expected from year one to year two, man, more mature, more experience in there, man. Just kind of knowing what I'm doing out here in my role.
We've watched you at OTAs, we've watched you at minicamp and out here at training camp. You've been out there making plays. Do you feel like there's a chip on your shoulder, like you're out there trying to prove something?
Every day, I feel like, I'm always, the underdog of every situation. So, even when I'm with the ones, I just got to keep going and preparing, as if I'm not the guy. So, I'm just always trying to, get better. Get off at 10 inside, we'll go 0. All right, just get your head around, Key. Once you outside and they get you here.
Even though you're still a young player, how do you help those young guys that are coming into your room?
Like a lot of young guys, they come in, they get down on themselves, they get frustrated. Especially playing NFL as a defensive back, you can't just dwell on one play because you can't get it back. So, they might come to me or, the other guys and, say, hey, man, what coach meant on that? And, we just kind of communicate. Yeah. Speed! Scream! Yeah! The environment and the culture that we've created in the defensive backs room, it's amazing.
Chiefs Blueprint is brought to you by Microsoft Surface, official tablet of the NFL. Prime Sport. Get your tickets to the Chiefs tailgate party, presented by Bud Light at primesport.com/Chiefs. Overland Park Auto Group, home of the Red Friday Rally. And by the University of Kansas Hospital, the official healthcare provider of the Chiefs, and the athlete in you.
Welcome back to the show. Around this time last year, speculation was still rampant that Derrick Johnson's playing days might soon be over. The 32-year-old was coming back from a ruptured Achilles suffered in week 1 of 2014, and the jury was still out as to whether or not he'd be able to reach the same heights in 2015.
Well, instead, DJ turned in one of his best seasons as a pro, starting all 16 games and racking up 116 tackles to go along with 4 sacks and 2 interceptions. It was quintessential Derrick Johnson.
So we had a Chiefs timeout. The player down is Derrick Johnson.
Oh, no. When you're getting that far along in your career and you play that position and you're coming off of a season-ending, sometimes career-ending type of injury in a torn Achilles, there's some major concerns. That takes a lot, not only from a pain standpoint and the rehab standpoint and the strengthening standpoint. There's a lot of mental hurdles there.
And when the pros, Len, take the helmet off, they know.
How good does it feel to be back in a training camp and after the injury?
It feels great.
It was great to talk to him in training camp, have him say that his body was right, that all he needed to do was get back into the contact of things.
I forgot, we don't get tired. We don't get tired.
But until we saw him get out there on the field and fly around, I wasn't real sure what to expect from DJ.
And when he played and when the season started and really through the losing streak, we were seeing him make plays, but it was usually along the line of scrimmage.
Derrick Johnson!
Grabbed by Derrick Johnson.
Somewhere right around week 7, week 8, he was shooting that gap and taking the legs out from under the running back.
Derrick Johnson came in, both torpedoes!
torpedoes.
I think that's where you started to say, okay, this is the old Derrick Johnson, and he's back.
Pressure! He's sacked! Derrick Johnson came blowing in. Shotgun snap to Landry. Now left side, throws intercepted. Right hash mark. DJ finally gets a pickoff, and the Chiefs have a chance to score. Deep coverage. Hoyer pump faking. He's got no chance. Derrick Johnson.
I love you too, man. You came a long way, bro. You came a long way. You kidding me?
To see him out there flying around the way he was flying around, it was like the injury never happened.
This was supposed to be the swan song year, right? This was supposed to be, okay, I'm gonna ride off into the sunset, I'm gonna eclipse 1,000 tackles, I'm gonna go down as the all-time leading tackler in Chiefs football history, all that stuff. And no, I mean, he just comes out and has one of his most productive seasons as a pro.
Led the team in tackles again, had 2 interceptions.
I think he's probably as complete and as versatile a linebacker as anybody in the NFL.
If you look at what the natural progression of a linebacker is, at some point in time, okay, is he just going to be, the first and second down backer and they utilize someone else on third down? That's never been his role. He's been an every down backer. It's pretty amazing when you see a linebacker play as long as he has as many tackles as he has had. You can't say enough about him.
Welcome back to Chiefs Blueprint. An NFL roster will inevitably feature a range of different personalities, backgrounds, and upbringings, whether it's through Texas 5A and College All-America, as was the case for Derrick Johnson, or through the relative unknown, such as Northern Louisiana and small college football like the background of Sharkhandrick West. There are many paths to being an NFL player.
But there are very few with the upbringing and football story quite like Allan Bailey. Allan's home is on Sapelo Island off the coast of Georgia, measuring around 12 miles long and with less than 50 permanent residents. The island has no cell phone coverage, no schools, and no grocery stores. But as soon as football season ends, there's no place that Allan would rather be.
There's no big 7-footers, 8-footers anymore. Maybe they are, but I don't know where they at. I ain't gonna look for them. That one make a pretty nice size one over there. Surprising no more. There probably is some more. You have snakes and you have rattlesnakes, you got water markets. So you got poisonous snakes over here too, so we're a lot quieter and stuff. Let's see, time goes a little bit slower over here. You got no street lights, no stop signs. So it is being a kid, you really could be a kid.
All along the Georgia coastline, as land dissolves into the tranquil marshlands spilling into the Atlantic Ocean, lie chains of narrow and remote barrier islands. They lurk just above the horizon from the mainland, close enough to see but far enough away to remain a mystery. But life on Sapelo Island, a community with no police force, school system, or grocery store, feels even more isolated than that.
It's a place you can walk bare feet. This is a place you can listen to the birds and the bees and not worry about a whole lot of stuff.
Okay, this is the beginning of the community. 13 miles by 13 miles. So it's not too big, but...
We grow our own garden. We do our own fishing, clamming, ocean. So we didn't have to go to town so much and buy food and stuff like that.
Like some people, they raise cows and we kill a cow, get the meat, so wild hog, raccoon. Usually eat squirrel when we're younger.
They said give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, and teach a man to fish and he can feed himself for a lifetime. Anything go wrong, Allan can fish, Allan can hunt.
On the rake or not, but they be on the ground, so you gotta dig like, good ones be on the ground though. We got ones up to this big before. See if I catch anything. I might have some in his net. Like little fish. I had a lot of work. They get tired. Got some strong shoulders. Basketball court, run around the island, walk around.
On Sapelo, kids can go run around on Sapelo because everybody know your kids.
They got a certain amount of freedom that the kids in town don't have.
Think about who wants 7 kids in the house at one time. Let's pretend around the house. You wouldn't have a house no more.
That only just make them wiser and give them strength.
7 kids, 7 days a week. Everybody had to wash dishes 1 day a week. My was on Saturdays. I hated it because nobody want to wash dishes on Saturdays.
I think the discipline part, it was great for him. Mom and Dad didn't stand for no shenanigans. And which he was almost like that perfect child. He didn't give them no shenanigans anyhow.
You ready to go with the boy? He all right.
Between raccoon hunting, fishing, clamming, and swimming, there was plenty to entertain a young Allan Bailey growing up on Sapelo. But soon enough, it became clear that Allan's future lay in a much more conventional activity.
I talked to him one day and asked him, do you want to play some sports? Because all his brothers played football, basketball, and all that. So he decided to try out playing football, and he loved it.
I mean, he was born with shoulders and height. So I know with that type of build, he was going to play ball at school or that kind of stuff like that.
I guess he'd been about in the 9th grade. And, people start coming to us, and say, he going to pro, we didn't believe all that, that he's going to make it to pro.
And when he started reaching further and further, we all was happy.
I want to leave the state, but I didn't want to go too far. I didn't want to go to UGA. They would come out every week. When they could, every week, they come out every week. So yeah, I like Miami.
Allan's success continued at Miami, where he played in all 12 games as a freshman and 50 throughout his career. He led the team in sacks and tackles for loss as a junior and earned first-team All-ACC honors twice. And much to his mother's relief, he also earned a college degree.
She cried more at my graduation in college than she did when I got drafted, so it's always been like school for them.
All the things, he said, I made it to be pro. My mama didn't cry. I got my degree and I cried. It was something real important to us that he made it there.
Well, little nephew. What's up, man? I'm my older brother. Anything? Water?
Say this is his time to relax, so he go back to the real world.
I was training so much in the summertime that I don't hardly be home like that. So I always try to come home before I head back to Kansas City for training camp, because that'd be the last time I get to come home to the bye week.
So many people, once they make it to a certain level in life, they kind of forget where they came from. Allan have not forgotten where he came from.
I'm very proud of him, because I never believed that someone from this little small island would have made it that far. And he made it.
Chiefs Blueprint is brought to you by Microsoft Surface, official tablet of the NFL. Prime Sport. Get your tickets to the Chiefs tailgate party, presented by Bud Light at primesport.com/Chiefs. Overland Park Auto Group, home of the Red Friday Rally. And by the University of Kansas Hospital, the official healthcare provider of the Chiefs and the athlete in you.
Thanks for joining us on this week's show. It's a painful week across the NFL. Rosters must be reduced to 70 men by Tuesday, and the 53-man roster will be decided next Saturday the 3rd.
Pete, this is a tough week. It's been fun to watch this team come together over the last couple of months, and there's some really good dudes in that locker room that, unfortunately, they're not going to be making this team. But with the depth and the talent of this roster, there's zero doubt that some of these guys are going to end up with other teams.
Well, the players will get to make their final case to earn a roster spot this Thursday as the Green Bay Packers will come to town for the final preseason game of the year. Tickets are available at Chiefs.com, and of course, the game will be broadcast on the Chiefs television network as well. Check your local listings. For BJ Kissel, I'm Pete Sweeney. We'll see you next week.
65 toss power trap.